If someone asked you to list all of your most valuable assets, would time be at the top of your list? Hi, I'm Carly Myers, your friendly stress management expert, and this month we're talking about how to manage your time for less stress. I brought on an amazing guest, LaTeisha Williams, LMSW, who's a life coach and author who works with women who are ready to make changes in their lives by showing them how to use positivity as a tool. LaTeisha is the founder of Queen Brand Enterprise, which is a community of women who encourage, educate, and edify one another on their mission to live a healthy and positive life. By using her educational background in social work and personal life experiences, LaTeisha is able to offer an eclectic approach that supports women specifically and addresses their unique needs along their journey. Oh my goodness, I am so excited to have you on the show.
Woohoo! Hello, everyone.
Oh my goodness. So for some context, everyone, LaTeisha and I met a few weeks ago at an event a colleague of ours put together. We ended up talking and talking and talking. We had so much in common. And I feel like I was her cheerleader as she was sharing all of her valuable knowledge. So I was like, I have to have you on the show. This has to happen.
I am greatly appreciated. I was so excited when got the invite. I was like, yes, this is awesome.
Oh my goodness. Awesome. So tell us, for those of us who don't know you and aren't familiar with your work, how did you end up here? What's your story?
Well, I started out actually working in telecommunications. I worked for a huge brand still around right now for over a decade. And I was there and I was just taking classes, here and there. But I always wanted to help people. And in that position, I didn't feel like a lot of help because I was collecting money from individuals. So to me, if someone called in and said, hey, I only have $10 to pay, I'm like, okay, great, give it here. Versus what I'm supposed to be doing is asking for more. So that kind of started to weigh on me. It was no room for growth, just a lot of different things that go on in corporate America,
Yep.
on the phone, in telecommunications. So when I got separated from that position, I was like, okay, let me go ahead and go full head of steam with my education. So I did that, got my associates. And as I was getting my associates, I took a lot of electives in human services because I still, growing up, I had a lot of people help me. Like they say, it takes a village. It really took a village to raise me. And that was because, different things go on in life. There's hardships, there's trauma, there's all kind of stuff. So I wanted to single-handedly save the world. So that's kind of how it started. I went to school, got that associates, took those human services class. And when I took those human services classes, my electives, that's all they were. That it just resonated with me. And so I went on to get my bachelor's, went on to get my master's, and worked in mental health for quite some time. And now deciding to go ahead and help individuals in a different fashion. So that's how I became a light worker.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's right. We talked about light worker and that term. It's such a great term. And I feel like people don't use it enough. So, oh my goodness. Okay, that's amazing. And I feel like I now know somebody who got their associate's degree first. A lot of the people I know, they just like jumped in. I don't know how they made that happen, but they jumped in. And I was like, no, I got my associate's degree and then my bachelor's, and then it was a whole process. But I digress. We're here to talk about time management.
So
So
let's manage our time.
let's manage our time properly. Yes. So tell us, I'm curious, like what do you recommend in terms of how to manage our time for less stress?
Definitely the first thing is prioritize. I know everything makes the top of the list. We sit and we say, I have this to do, I have that to do, and I have this to do. And then you think about what's important and everything goes to the top. So really sit down and think about things like, what is very pertinent right now? Is there a project that's due right now? Is there some type of, event that I have to prepare for? Is there something in my personal life that I have to get done? And if it is, that is something that you can do first. What I've also noticed about prioritizing my time is, even though I'm putting one thing first, um, I could work on that thing and it not necessarily get done in that time frame. And that is still okay too, because that's still managing my time. Sometimes we sit and we want to get everything all out at one time and we're kind of like forcing it to go. That's really a waste of time because you're sitting there making yourself work on something when really you could use that time to work on something that's actually flowing through you. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one tip. Another one is time is the most valuable asset and we will never get it back. We can't either we're going to spend our time or we're going to spend our money. But to me, time is much more valuable than even the money is because so much happens during that time. As we spend our time. So one of the things that I had to realize was I had to be really, really in tune with what my intentions were and what my goals were. And when I say that because when someone or spending my time doing something and it's not aligned with my goals or what my intentions are, I'm ultimately not utilizing my time properly.
And
So
and those are the days, right, where like you end up at the end of the day and you're like, I didn't do anything. And the reality is you did a bunch of stuff, but it's just stuff that wasn't moving your goals and your priorities forward.
yes, and we want to take progressive steps forward. Whether it's, business, personal, spiritually, working out. You want to take progressive steps forward. So just keeping in mind when we think about time management, that is our most valuable asset. So am I going to be caught wasting my time doing this, or do I want to go ahead and spend my time doing this? And then some time management hacks that we all can utilize or try to figure out for ourselves. One of that works well for me is making a couple of meals at a time.
Oh my gosh, meal prep saves so many lives.
Oh my goodness. And I'm starting this new lifestyle change where I'm not eating any meat any longer, which
How
hasn't
do
been the
you do
struggle.
it?
Cheese is my issue. So they're like, "You're a vegan now." No, I'm not a vegan because every now and then I want a cheese pizza. I'm just gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying? So even with that being said, like that's a time management hack for me, because if I can go ahead and prepare a couple of smoothies, prepare my salad, get my vegetables cooked already, that's a few meals right there for a couple of days. That
Oh my,
helps me.
I just learned about mason jar salads. If you pre-package, yeah, you put the salad and all the stuff except for the dressing in the mason jar, it keeps for a week.
Yes.
That's like game changing stuff.
Life changing. So little time hacks like that. Even though it seems small, even though one day you're going to spend maybe an hour to prepare all of these meals, guess what? That saves you like 2 hours every day during the week. You add that up, that's like what, 10 hours a day you just got back.
Mm-hmm. Every
Well, I'm
week
sorry,
you
10
can
hours a week.
a
I mean,
week. I'm
yeah.
not spending 10 hours a day doing anything, I can tell you
No,
that.
me either. I'm sorry, a week, 10 a week.
So I have a question for you then. So how do we talked about, working on like miscellaneous stuff that makes you feel not accomplished versus working on your priorities. How do you prioritize?
You have to be I know this kind of sound bad, but sometimes you have to be selfish.
That don't
Um,
sound bad to me. It sounds great.
and the word no has helped me a tremendous amount. I'm the type of person, again, I want to help, I want to, give back, all that type of thing. So I had to, one, put my phone on do not disturb. And then two, it's no. If it's not aligned with what I have going on, what I have planned out, sometimes things happen. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes things happen, but trying to be a stickler, that's one of those things you gotta kind of be mean about. Like, nope, no compromise, especially if it's something important that you can't put off.
Yeah. Yes. It boundaries, even you can use the, I like to call it the shit sandwich, right? To properly communicate. Other people call it the positive sandwich, right? Where you're able to say, appreciate people for what they're doing in your life, say no, and then create, have a have a perspective of gratitude that they are supporting you in whatever it is that you want to do. And I just want to drop the name of a book here on how to prioritize, and it's called The One Thing by Gary Keller. Probably the best business book I have ever read. So if you guys want even more on how to figure out what we like, how to prioritize, that's going to be the book. Now, we want to know what resonated with you today. Let us know in the comments below. Now, are you feeling If you're feeling overworked or exhausted, I've got some good news for you. The Stress Less Company works with high achieving CEOs, business owners, and managers just like you to find that sense of peace and freedom they desire. And as a result of our work together, they learn how to properly manage their time, tasks, and energy so that they can experience more free time, efficiency, and prosperity. Sounds pretty good, right? Well, if that sounds good to you, you can apply for a complimentary Stress Less Clarity session today to start the conversation about working together. Visit stresslessco.com/apply. This concludes this episode of the Stress Less Show. I want to give one big last shout out and thank you to LaTeisha for coming on the show.
Woo!
If you've enjoyed this week's episode, let us know by giving us a big old thumbs up and hitting that follow or subscribe button. Thanks for listening. Share if it resonated, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.